Hi guys, welcome to Visordown. My name's Alex and we're here in sunny Peterborough to look at the Yamaha NMAX and the Yamaha Delight 125. Now we've been running these around all day, basically treating them as if it was a standard commute bike really. And what we've been doing is just seeing how these get on the beautiful roads of Peterborough, so both the towns and the city roads, and a little bit of dual carriageway action as well, to just see how we get on with fast-paced roads for both of these. Now, of course, these are scooters and I'm 6'3", so it's not technically what I'd be looking at when it comes to my mode of transportation. I think scooters would probably, for me, be right at the bottom. But these have been absolutely fine. The NMAX particularly has fit me in absolutely fine, and it feels like I'm in a nice little cocoon. The wind is going right over me, right around me, and I feel nice and safe and secure on the road, which is brilliant. The Delight, on the other hand, I did feel a little bit up against it, as it were. I think the Delight is basically the same weight as me, nice and light and really, you know, road ready, but then I'm sat on top of it and it's doubling up on the weight. So it rides fine for the average rider. For me, I did feel like I was sat up nice and high and it was a little bit touch and go on the dual carriageway roads, but it still held its own and it was still nice and nimble, nice and planted on the roads. So looking back at the NMAX 125, this is of course brand new for 2021. And they've done quite a lot with the styling. As you can see, it still holds the standard NMAX character and you can identify it as the NMAX on the roads, but they have redesigned it and given it a bit of a revamp for the 2021 model. They have also redesigned the frame and it's got a backbone frame support, and that means that you can basically get a little bit more in terms of accessories and luggage capacity on there. It's basically able to withstand a lot more weight and brunt really, and that's really handy if you're looking at a big top box for, let's say, maybe you're commuting stuff in there, or maybe you're looking at a delivery scooter. It's going to be a nice big capacity top box that you can get added on from Yamaha, and it's really capable and nice and secure on the roads, I've got to say. As I mentioned, I'm 6'3" and I fit on this one absolutely brilliantly, I've got to say. And it is really comfortable on the road, it's really nippy, and on the town roads and city roads where it gets a little bit more, shall we say, you know, twisty and turny, and it's nice and sharp. The steering angle is really good, you can really get it round in a really tight angle, and it can, you know, get you around nice and easily on those back roads where it might get a little bit more, you know, condensed for a city street, shall we say. Now, another thing new for the NMAX 125 is the engine. Now, of course, it's still a 125cc for the UK. There is a 150 or 155 motor for the European markets where that's more their thing. But for the 125 here, it's got start-stop. It's a blue core engine as well. And as I say, it is really nippy. I've got to you know, give it some props here, because I really did feel absolutely fine on the roads in terms of keeping up with traffic, keeping up with the group, and with me a bit of a heavy lump on there, I was fine. And I'm sure if anyone of a normal rider size is on there, it's going to be even better. So that's happy days really. The start-stop technology works as it is, literally starting and stopping. So you pull up to a junction, and if you're waiting there, the engine will come off. You might need to, you know, engage the throttle a little bit just to wake the engine up and go. But if you need to go straight away and you twist the throttle, you are near enough pulling straight off. So basically the start-stop engine is there straight away, and it's good for traffic or heavy, you know, areas where you're moving up and stopping, up and stopping, up and stopping. It will go on and off as it needs to, which is brilliant, and it didn't cause any problems, which is great. Quick point on the start and stop, it's not actually a starter motor. Yamaha have done some wizardry and some magic, and it's actually a battery that then just sends the power to the actual gearbox, and of course no clutch, it just gets going straight away. And yeah, there's no starter engine, it's nice and quiet, it doesn't sound like it's having to start up every time, it just gets going. So yeah, really good on that. Of course, with the NMAX, it's going to be aimed at the sort of target audience of a sort of middle-aged commuter and someone of both sexes who is looking for a smart way to get to and from work and just do that commute nice and stylishly, I'd say. And this is going to be one that has the 23 under seat storage, 23 litre, sorry. And that will fit a helmet in, not quite my helmet, which is a large size. It says it will fit an extra large helmet, so you just have to just double check that at a dealership if you are looking to get your helmet under there. Mine didn't quite fit, but if you've got an open face, it shouldn't be a problem there whatsoever. In terms of your rider bonuses, as it were, you get the LCD dash, nice and clear in all sunlight, glare, and when it's nice and, you know, grey, as it sometimes is in Peterborough, you can see it clearly. You've got the indicators, you've got all of the lights that just let you know what's going on, and it's nice and clear. Now, there's a couple of new features on the NMAX that are really worth mentioning specifically. Now, first of which is going to be the variable valve actuation system, or the VVA. A little handy light will illuminate on the dash when this activates on its own, and it will basically mean that you get that little bit of extra push when you're looking at the high speeds. Of course, this activates itself at 6,500 revs, and you don't really notice it. You do hear the engine kick into a new gear as such, and it basically means that you get that extra bit of push when you need it on fast roads, and lower speeds is going to be more optimized riding. Of course, you've got the additional TCS or traction control system on the NMAX now to stop that extra wheel spin, and of course the new suspension settings, which I found nice and soft on the road, and it handles really well on both the bumpy roads and the quick nippy city riding. So wrapping up with the NMAX, as I say, it's a really smart and stylish commuter option, and it's something that has a bit of poke as well. And as I say, for someone my size to get on a scooter like this, which is a sort of full maxi size scooter for the 125cc market, can't complain whatsoever, and it's definitely an option for a commuter who's looking to do it in style and reliable and fun, really, I've got to say. So props for Yamaha for that. This one will start at £3,399 plus on the road, and yeah, definitely worth looking at if you're looking at the scooter. Now we'll swap over to the Delight, and this one I would say is no way my size, but I fit on it and I can scoot about nice and easily and comfortably, so absolutely fine on this one. So the Delight 125 is a beautiful option if you're looking for a sort of cheap scooter, but will also have that reliability and that affordability at the same time. Now, Yamaha have poised this one on the market for someone who, as I say, is looking for a scooter and a commuter, but isn't that fussed about scootering, really. It's nice and light, so you don't have to worry about maneuvering it. You can literally just basically pick it up if you're Mr. Hulk or something like that, I don't know, but it is nice and light. You feel it on the roads, and it is still planted, which is important for a light scooter, is that when you're riding it around, it feels comfortable to move about, but you're not really vulnerable. As I say, when I'm jumping on top of this, I genuinely weigh near enough the same as the scooter, and it's comfortable for me to ride, and I feel secure on it. Although I am sat quite high, and I would like it to be a little bigger, but that's just this scooter at the end of the day. It also has a unified braking system, so you pull the front and some of the back comes on, pull the back, some of the front comes on. So it's nice and versatile in terms of the braking options. You don't have to worry about putting some of the front and back on. You can literally just jump on this with no experience, scoot about and brake, and it's going to be comfortable. On the roads, for me, it felt fine to pull away from traffic, stopping, you know, if there was, you know, a red light coming up and I needed to stop really quickly, absolutely, you know, bang on, really. There was no brake fade after a little bit of riding, and yeah, nice and comfortable. The underseat storage for the Yamaha Delight here is around 30 litres. I can't, again, quite fit a full face helmet under here, but it is capable enough to fit a good amount of storage. You might want to just chuck a top box on if you are looking to take a lot of luggage around with you to maybe your commute or your destination, but as I say, you can fit a nice amount under the underseat storage. It's worth mentioning as well, for those who are maybe looking at an economy option, the Delight is really economical, as is the NMAX in all truthfulness. The low CO2 emissions, as well as the frugal nature of the Delight and the NMAX, means that you riding this one around and it's literally sipping at petrol. It will literally be going, say, maybe 190 miles or so on a full tank, and for a little scooter like this with a smaller tank, that's brilliant. The Yamaha Delight starts at around £2,899, and this is going to be something you can find at a dealer, plus then on the road, of course. Maybe you want to chuck some accessories on, but it's a really cheap option, and literally nipping even around on these little back roads where we are now, it was brilliant fun. So the Yamaha Delight is poised as a really brilliant commuter for someone who maybe has the R1 in the garage, but they don't want to take that to work, so they just want to nip out onto this one and go to and from work really frugally, economically, and insure it for cheap as well. So that's definitely an option here. It's £2,899 in the dealer with the on the road, and maybe you want to chuck a few accessories on as well. It is worth mentioning that there's an accessories pack on the NMAX, so you can get the top box, the screen, some heated grips, nice covers and stuff like that for the accessories pack, whereas with the Delight you need to add them on yourself and pick from the options. and both are set as a really good commuter option. Personally, for me, I prefer the NMAX, but that's down to you what one you prefer. So my name has been Alex. This is the Yamaha Delight and Yamaha NMAX. Been great riding these ones around. Definitely check them out in your dealers when they're back open. And thanks so much for watching Visordown. See you on the next one. Ciao.